Hey guys, what's going on? Kind of want to do this video and shoot it, and it's kind of a different kind of a video, and I kind of wanted to kind of just be, completely honest with you guys, and I kind of wanted to do a video that, we're going to start diving into subjects on this channel, besides the movies and music reviews. I think we're going to start be doing topics and things like that on this channel, and it's me kind of telling what I think about certain things and other things like that. But in order to get to that point, I kind of think I want you guys to know who I am, and I want you guys to understand um, pretty much everything about me, and to kind of get more of a sense of where I'm at. And for that to be said, I think I kind of want to go dive a little deeper into maybe some things you really don't know about me. And first thing I want to talk about today is I want to talk about mental illness. I want to talk about something like that. And some people might turn off by this. If you are, turn off the channel. I apologize. There's plenty of other videos on this channel you can check out. But I want to talk about mental illness just for a second. And the fact that sometimes people are born and you don't know until you grow up things that happen. Bipolar, and I don't know the meaning of bipolar, but I know that I think I kind of struggle with it on a day by day basis. And I didn't really think I had it for the longest time. I thought it was just a joke, everything like that. But there's times where I turn on a dime and I get angry for no apparent reason. And it could be just anything that triggers it. It could be somebody looking at me the wrong way. It could be, people giggling from a distance and I hear them. It makes me think they're giggling about me, and probably has nothing to do with me. And there's other things at home that'll cause me to, you know, just wonder about things. And see, it's just something that you don't know you have until, you might know you have it when you're younger, but a lot of it, I think, is a lot of that being really complacent and seeing all these drugs being put on TV and people like, oh, do I have that? Do I have that? Do I have that? And that's horrible. That's horrible in society. Um, but truly knowing that something is wrong with you, I think it's hard to tell. And I think only someone that lives in your box, inside your world, is someone that should be able to come to you and be perfectly honest with you and say, I think you have this. You need to probably go see a doctor and get some help. But in this world, there's kind of a big stigma around that where people don't want to do that because maybe they think it's going to ruin your life, or maybe they think it's going to, be a little bit more rougher on you. Something like that happens. And, do I have a whole lot of money to go and get treatment? Things like that? No, I don't have that kind of money. I deal with it on a daily basis, and I, try and get through it as much as I can. A lot of things that I don't really think I have. I do have bipolar. I do really think I'm bipolar. I really do think I am. I'm probably about 95% sure that I'm probably bipolar. Um, but it just comes to the realization that you might have something wrong with you when I know for me, everything kind of just rises up in me and all the stresses and everything just kind of and rises up in me. And then all of a sudden, it sets this big trigger. And it's hard to get past that. Once you hit that trigger, I think on someone that has some sort of problem, it's hard to turn that trigger off. Or I guess, once you hit the trigger, it's hard to hit the button to go back to normal. And sometimes for me, it takes a while. It happens with me when I get super angry. I'll get to a point, and there's been plenty, and people from work are watching this, and you see this. You probably have seen me turn to being triggered and getting to a point where I just can't deal with anything, and I just got to go home. That's what I would have to do because who knows what I would do if I would stick around. Like, I get so angry that I do things that I should not do. And I'm saying this because, I'm not trying to out myself, or that kind of sounds weird, but like, there's been times where, you know, I have, thrown things at my wife. There's things I've accidentally thrown things at my child, and it gets to a point where it's a little bit rough. And for me nowadays, I kind of know when that trigger happens, I just have to leave. I just have to go to, here in the bedroom, or I gotta go somewhere, and I just gotta, get away for a while. Go sit in the parking lot somewhere and just, get away. And sometimes you'll notice, I think, like I shoot videos sometimes I've only shot videos, I think, a couple times. And you probably can go back and watch some of those videos I've shot, like at Harvest and things like that, and see that I'm a little bit different in my previous videos than my normal videos. I gotta trim my mustache, oh my lord. Anyways, but I kind of just want to talk about this because I don't think that in today's world, I don't think we need to be afraid, of this. You just need to get help. You need to try and get help. If you can't get help, then, find a way to control yourself. That's what you got to do, and that's what I try and do. And I kind of hopefully maybe this will help somebody. And that's another reason why I want to do this video. Is the fact I can't be the only person dealing with something that you know that you don't have much money and you can't go and get medical help. You can't. I mean, every time you ask somebody, you want somebody to talk to, they always want to tell you to talk to a priest. They only want you to talk to a preacher. And for me, it's not about that. And I do get a sense of anxiety when I talk to someone that's religious because I know I grew up from that type of family and I know that I should probably be going to church. But that's not why. And I tend to break into tears when I get around a preacher. I get in a religious atmosphere. That's why I just can't stand to be in a religious atmosphere. Because of the fact that I always break down in tears. Because I know I should be here. I know I should be in a religious thing. But I'm not going to sit there and lie to a bunch of people. I like to listen to things. I like to watch movies. I like to watch very, very edgy stuff. And I don't want to be one of those people that just watches this stuff and listens to this horrible music and I just go to church on Sunday and just think it's okay. Because it's not okay. It's not okay at all. And, you guys can try and, be your own judge and say that it's okay to do this and that, but it's not. And, I'm not going to diss on anybody, but, Catholics they're very kind of like that. They're like, they can do whatever and then, go to Sunday and, say their Hail Marys, or I don't know how that works. Anyways, do all that stuff and you're okay. I don't know. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying anything bad about Catholics. I'm not saying anything about any religion. It's just the fact that it doesn't work for me. So, being with this kind of thing that I have, like I said, it's probably bipolar. I mean, I really don't know. But it's a lot of stress on me, a lot of things going on. And I know everybody out there, there's probably going to be somebody out there who makes a comment like, oh, get over it, it's life, kid. But, it's a part of life. And I think that there needs to be something out there that people can just go and talk or pick up a phone and talk to somebody that is willing to talk to you about stuff, and you don't have to pay a lot of money to do it, because I think that it's coming down to where mental illness is probably going to be a very, very high rate for casualty of deaths, I think, in America. And that leads me to my next topic, which is not a very, very pretty topic. So if you don't want to talk about the S word, and as soon as I say it, you'll know it. And when I say it, you just turn off the video if you don't want to talk about it. Because I'm going to be very frank about it. I'm going to be very honest about it. And, let's talk about suicide for a second, okay? As you see my tone of voice change there. Suicide is such a harsh word, and it's a word that has become very prevalent in society now. That people use it for, movies. They put it in songs. It's just a part of everyday, life now, seems like, and you hear it all the time. There's a group in Marvel called Suicide Squad. I don't know when it came out. I have no idea. I don't care, to be completely honest. You can give me all the information down below if you want to tell me when Marvel Suicide Squad officially became a thing. But that tells you that it's becoming more acceptable to say that word in public, and to me, that's not a good thing. It's just a word, and I've always said things, how, words are just words. Same thing I talk about, like Christian music. I like Christian music. There's a lot of great bands in Christian music, and it's not that I believe in God or I don't believe in God. I always say it's just words. And there is a kind of a double thing to that when I talk about suicide. In fact, that if that's becoming a normal word, people are going to wonder and they're going to look that up, and then that gets put in their head. Once suicide gets put in your head, that's always a bad thing because then it's there. You know what it is. And if you know what it is, will you want to do it? And to me, that's not a good thing in society. Being someone that has problems, that constantly has issues going through their head, that, and like I said, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for other people that maybe want to watch this video and go, wow, that sounds a lot like me. So I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I'm sure you already clicked on it, so you're watching it right now. And you've gotten halfway through it. So I want to know down below, what have you done to kind of contain the problems that you have? Kind of let me know, because I kind of want to know personally too what you guys do if you're not able to go to a doctor, if you're not able to see anybody. And I don't want, like I said, I don't want to hear any of those answers about, oh, let's go talk to your preacher, because that doesn't help some people. And I don't think I'm the only person on that either. But let me know how you solve that. But there has been times where I've thought about the S word, and there. The thing is, I don't think I have the balls to do it. That's just the biggest thing in the world. But it gets closer and closer. The more stress that adds to me, the more thoughts that go through my head about that. And I even posted on my personal Facebook, something, and it was like closely like right before my son actually had a hearing problem, and I still don't know if it's cleared up yet or not. They gave him some antibiotics, and he was able to hear after that. And that's the thing, people that watch this channel, they know I have children, they know I have an awesome wife. But sometimes the stress at home and everything else, like, okay, we don't argue, we argue somewhat, and there's certain things my wife just doesn't understand about me. The things that I do and the way that I do them and the way that I think and the way that I process things. She doesn't understand about some of that stuff, and I think it's just part of the person I am. But she's been with me for probably like, we've been together like almost 12 years. So I don't know why she's staying with me. And I've told her that before, so many times that I've gotten fed. And actually, last week I had a very, very blow up argument with her about stuff, and was just, basically telling her, that, you can walk out. I don't care. And it's getting to that point where, in my life, where it's a whole other thing for a whole other video, but that I said it. And I posted something about, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm doing something wrong, because every time I go to work, I'm not making much extra money. It's just basically to make the bills meet, and I don't get to do anything else. And I posted that. I don't care who sees it. I'm not one of those people that post that kind of stuff on Facebook. But the thing about my wife's family is they always want to comment on stuff like that. And they always want to say something about God. They always want to say something about, what about your kids and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. What about my kids? They're great. They're doing fine. They're pretty healthy. What about them? What about me? And that's the thing. Like, I don't put things, and see, that's where I think people are wrong when they're like, oh, you have so much to live for, your kids, and you have a wonderful family, and you have a shelter over your head. That's great. That is awesome. But when somebody who is going through struggles, or they think they're going through struggles, and that's the biggest key word right there, and that's where I want to kind of leave you on, is that if you are going through struggles, you have to realize a couple things. One, the world doesn't revolve around you. And that is a rough thing to understand, because people will say it to your face and it will hurt your damn feelings. And you will take it wrong. That is just the ultimate way. And you're going to say something back to them about that. When they say that, you're going to get angry. But here's the honest truth, and here's the very biggest honest truth, is the world doesn't rely around you. And once you understand that, like I said, you have to figure out how to combat it yourself. Second thing you need to realize is it's not something you're going to fix overnight. Once you realize you have a problem, Um, you just got to start to control it. You got to figure out how do you make yourself happy to make it day to day. And it's a struggle I deal with every single day. You know, I love music. I love movies. Music used to be my kind of key to escape. It still is. I've been finding some good CDs, listening to them on the way to work. I show up in a wonderful mood because I like the music I'm listening to. It puts me in a good mood when I get to work. I watch movies and I like to review them. YouTube is one of the biggest things that I would suggest to people that have problems is find a topic to start talking about, set a schedule for YouTube, start doing YouTube because it really does help you. Because one, the ultimate thing is, what do we want? What do we want to do with whatever's going on up there? You want to talk to somebody. Maybe you're afraid to go somewhere. Maybe you're afraid to step into that office and go, yeah, I've scheduled a meeting with Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Lose Your Mind. I'm here to talk to Dr. Lose My Mind. And, you know, that's where you gotta go like, what's the next, what else can I do? And the only thing that I can say is get on YouTube, shoot videos. Whether you're going to put them on YouTube or not, or whether you're just going to shoot the videos and just keep them for yourself, set them on private on YouTube, or put them on another video site and keep them for yourself, it's up to you. But honestly, this is what I would do. And like I said, once you start putting things on YouTube, you kind of just kind of go with that too. You got to think about this. Once you put it on YouTube, it's on there forever. It's not going away. But at least your voice was out there, and if you had anything to say about, you know, what people thought about you, or just, you know, don't go personal into personal details. If you're going to go into personal details, don't talk about it, or just don't put it on YouTube. Just record it for yourself and then delete it. And at least it got it off your mind, and you were able to talk about it. It's, you know, this is kind of my venting, and this is the same exact thing I'm talking about right now, is having to shoot a video to talk about this, to get it off your mind. But when you think about things so much and stress builds up, and a good example is, you know, let's talk about some elephants that you see in my videos every single time, is that I have no time to do hardly anything. My videos are very sporadic. It's because of family getting in the way of me wanting to do YouTube. It happens. It just happens. And, you know, people understand to do YouTube. You got to work around it. But it's something that I want to do. And things that I want to do becomes a stress and being piled on. Being a reseller, doing reselling. I've been having trouble listing already because of the same reason. My teeth. You see my teeth in every single video. I continue to talk about them in videos. We don't have no money. We don't have no money. We can't get them fixed right now. Hopefully this tax season I'll be able to get them done. Another stress added to on top of my pile. There's just a lot of stress going on in my life that it all revolves around money, and that's where a whole other topic will be discussed about how it's coming up soon. So leave comments down below if you want to talk about money and talk about how it's affecting society, because I think that's really what the next video is going to be about how, you know, we're not getting paid enough. And I talked about that in previous videos, but I'm probably going to go in depth probably in the next video about that, since it'll kind of like string on from this subject. There's so much other stuff. We're transitioning my son to get rid of his office, and he's going to have his own room that's going to have everything in there pretty much. He's going to have a TV. He's going to have all this stuff, you know. And of course, when Cash, my older son, my older son is Zayden, when my younger son, you know, gets old enough, you know, more likely he'll get a cheap TV that, you know, we'll get from a family member or get something, you know, cheap somewhere. So he'll have a TV in his room, or they'll probably most likely share that TV, because Zayden don't really watch a lot of TV anyway. Like, probably when he gets older, he might watch more TV, but right now he's just playing video games a lot. But it is what it is. And then something else added stress. You know, like I said, my son's hearing is a big stress on me right now, and also, my wife introduced another level of stress in that she's worried about the amount of screen time that my son is getting. So as I leave this video, I don't know if I really got to talk about everything. So maybe I might do a part 2 of this. You know, leave comments down below about what you thought about this video. If you check it out, if it hits you home, if it hits home with you, then let me know. I kind of want to know what people think about this video. like I said, let me know some ways you kind of relieve your stress. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of money. It's not something that I can just go and spend money and be done. And, every time you go try and do something free, it, there's just not a lot of free stuff around here where I live that you can go get help for mental stuff like that. Anyways, I'm kind of, before I get teary eyed and start, maybe that'll be the next video. I'll probably break down in tears and tell you things. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Actually, this kind of video, it's kind of rough to say that kind of thing at the end of the video. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Leave comments down below about this whole video, what you thought about it. Keep rocking and stay sharp. Later, guys. Keep rocking.